this February, I hurt my arm on one of my patients, and I saw the work comp doctor, and I was treated for about 2 weeks, and I asked him if I could return to my work duties, and he released me to go back to my previous injury duties. And then once he's released me, he's still seeing me because I still have some issues with my arm, but he had some limitations and stuff, but he did release me to go back to work to my full duties. At this point, since February, when he released me, they have not given me work at all. And up to last week, every week I would call and they'd say, call me next week. I would call me next week. As of last week, they told me, we can no longer employ you, and yet I'm still seeing the doctor. Is that legal? Can they not work me?
Yeah. Okay, fair question.
Yeah, that's a fair question. That brings into what we call the Bermuda Triangle of workers' comp law, where it intersects with other areas of the law. When you have a workers' comp claim, it doesn't say that they have to continue to employ you. However, if they don't continue to employ you, it could raise other issues with other areas of the law. Could be a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. It could reflect that they're not employing you in retaliation for you pursuing your workers' comp claim, and that could be a separate claim in and of itself. So we would have to talk with you further, Cheryl, but just to say to you that there may be other claims that may be at issue here with her circumstance.
Well, the retaliation, I think that's a good point. What do you tell your folks that call you that say, you know, I've got this issue, but I really am scared to go forward because I need my job?
Yeah, well, with her situation, she's not afraid of losing her job because apparently they're not allowing her to come to work right now. So I don't think that she has a lot to lose in this particular circumstance. She needs to put pressure on
but
to
I'm just
force
saying
them
in
to
general,
answer.
for people that are watching that might be afraid to come forward because they may be afraid that they may have some retaliation going on at the office.
Yeah. Well, I would tell them to call. You would call a workers' compensation attorney. The employer doesn't know if you called to gain information, and we can talk with you further and be able to dig into the facts to determine whether this is a retaliatory situation or whether it's not.
Yeah, proper ways to do things, right?
Yeah, so make the call.
So, Ed, all right, what if an employee, like the caller, has some limitations and her job requires her to do certain things, all right, but they really don't have anything within those limitations. They don't have any work for her. Is the employer required to accommodate that person's limitations?
Well, under the Workers' Compensation Act, the employer is not required to accommodate those limitations. However, I tell people, you always inject the Americans with Disabilities Act. You ask the employer. The law says that you have to ask the employer. You just can't assume it. You have to ask them, would you accommodate me? Could you change my my work duties a little bit to help me come back? Is there an open position that I may be able to transfer to? So once you ask that question, then you've injected the Americans with Disabilities Act into the situation. And so the employer has to deal with that. But if you never ask, you never inject.